I'm ZimZoe, and this video is already different to a lot of my videos. One, because I haven't done an intro with me, sat in front of the camera, and two, because I'm painting. Now, the reason I am painting in this one is because I wanted to do a catch-up video, which I've done in the past, where I've just sat down and chatted with you, saying about what I've been doing over the last week or so when I haven't really put up a vlog. And I didn't really want to do that, just sat in front of the camera. I thought, why not give them something to look at? And so what I was going to do is I was going to go down to the beach and film the sunset for half an hour, and then speed it up to ×3 and just, let that play, maybe some nice music in the background, while I did a catch-up over it. However, it's winter, it's England, and it's cold. So, instead, I decided to do this. And the reason this came to mind was because last night I was watching Northern Exposure, which is a TV show from ages ago, which we've got on DVD. And one of the characters, Holling, was doing a paint by numbers. And I was like, I'm sure I've got one of those. And so I went and found it. And it was only like half done, because it was only the base numbers that had been done. There was no mixed colours in there, and I know exactly why. It's because I was terrified that I'd mix them and it would go terribly, terribly wrong. So I thought, well, I might as well take a chance, because, it's just going to go to waste otherwise. And so I did. And so I spent the entire morning covering in all 1/10 sections with a 1/20 mix, because I went wrong. But at least it's going to be unique. And one thing about this, I've got notes on the side here, because I know I have a tendency to ramble otherwise. About this, I'm going to be doing this in one take if I can, because I need to get used to using the mic in overdubs. Ooh, watch this section, because it's shortly after I turn the painting around that Smudge, my cat, who's now sat on my lap while I record this, she decides to jump up on my back. But at least she's... Right, there it is. At least she's not walking around in the paint. She can pretty much be guaranteed not to do that. She'll sit on your back instead. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I need to get used to using the mic and doing overdubs, but more importantly, I need to get used to making mistakes. Because on so many vlogs, I have done time and time again at just trying to get the right intro or the right outro, and so it'll go wrong and I'll delete everything. Because I just feel like, it's gotta be perfect. And most of the time it isn't. I set the bar really high for myself, and I don't know why. And one other thing I need to get used to is thinking while I'm talking. Now I know it sounds stupid, but most of the time while I'm recording something, the reason I'll delete it is because I go, and there'll be huge gaps, and I think that just sounds terrible, so I need to get used to one, the fact that I do that, and two, I need to get used to sort of, work my way out of it, if you get me. Now, the reason I didn't do a vlog last Wednesday is because I was so unwell. There must have been a bug going around or something, because I caught it. And it started off, it just seemed like a cold, which of course set off my asthma, so I couldn't really breathe. But it also had I had a fever, but I could not stop shivering. And so I was just like, oh my god, I feel like death. There's no way I'm going to be able to record a vlog. And also, this is just unrelated, but some of the fingers on my right hand have started to swell up. Well, I say started, it's been like this since not last Friday, but the Friday before. But anyway, it makes it difficult to make a fist. Speaking of not last Friday, but the Friday before, I was out with my dad, and I went to see the new Assassin's Creed movie, which, honestly, I think it's pretty good. I mean, I've not played any of the games. I've seen other people play the games, but I've not played them myself, and I think it does a pretty good job at portraying it. Except for one thing, which is when you're, I'm not exactly sure the term, but it's when you're disconnected from the memory version of yourself or whatever. And the reason that they did it in the film was, there's the cat, was because he was terrified of jumping off a building. Where the reason they do it in the game is because you shot a chicken that you weren't supposed to. But speaking of games, I've been playing a lot of Love Beat recently, which is this sort of MMO dance game. And a friend of mine on it, she does streams of it. She's just started. But I thought, if you're interested in seeing me and her play that game, you can go check out her Twitch, which will be in the description below. But the last few days, I haven't really been playing that either. And the reason for that is because I got given a ton of PS3 games for Christmas, including Tomb Raider, Just Cause 2, Sleeping Dogs, Little Big Planet, and DVD-wise I got given about 3 films and 7 series of Scrubs, which I'm slowly working my way through, along with like 8 Black Butler books, which I'm also working my way through. But I haven't started Sleeping Dogs yet, because I've realised, like, if I start a game, I'm just gonna, start it and then never finish it. So I was like, well, you're not starting Sleeping Dogs until you finish another game. And so I'm gonna finish GTA 5 first, which I've had for 2 years maybe? Oh, speaking of games, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Yes! I absolutely adore it. For tons and tons of reasons. But the first one, and it's a really stupid reason, is the fact that there's a character in it called Zoe, and it's not spelt with a Y! You have no idea how many times, like, growing up, people have sent me cards, or tried to, like in 6th form, we had our own, like, personal emails that was our names. And he was like, why didn't you receive my email? And I was like, how did you spell it? And he was like, put a Y on the end of it. And I was like, no! And then people would go on the fact that, like, my name is Zoe and not Zoe because there's no Y, and it's spelled the same way as Joe, and it'd just be like, ugh! So I'm very happy that there's a character in that called Zoe. That's just ZOE. Plus the game. It has, like, puzzles in it, but the, like, old game puzzles. It screams Resident Evil. And I'm just like, yes! Plus there's so many references to the old games. One, like, the shotgun puzzle. And there's a painting in it that references to the location of the first game. It's just little bits here and there. And plus it looks absolutely fantastic. And I imagine it would look even better in VR. Though there's one thing I wouldn't like in VR, and that's when you get injured. You get like the whole like bloody screen. Like where you get like the red dots around the corner of your screen. Because that would annoy me. It really would. Because it's got its own health gauge, which is on your wrist, that you can check anytime you open your inventory menu. And I'm just like, why do you need the blood on the screen? It just, oh, I really hope there's an option to turn that off. Where am I? Resident Evil. I enjoyed number 5, because I watched a few co-ops of that. And I also enjoyed playing the Umbrella and Darkside Chronicles, because I played them with my dad. It's a great game to just, it's a shoot 'em up on a rail. And I've played it that often that I can quote half of the game. And it's good for Dad, because my dad isn't completely technologically savvy. So if you give him a nunchuck, he's like, how do I do this? And I'm like, well, if it's on rail, it's fine. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes so I don't ramble on. Future vlogs. Now, this is where sort of like I'm like, because I said I was going to do one a week, and it lasted 3 weeks. And that was it. I already sort of ran out of footage, because I thought, oh, I've got a week to do it, and then it comes to the day and I'm like, oh dear God, I've filmed nothing. Because nothing's been happening, because I haven't been going out anywhere, because it's cold. And so I've got ideas for when it gets warmer, because there's tons of places I can go out around here that I haven't filmed yet. I've got one in particular, but I'm not going to tell you because it's a secret. Plus, later in the year, I've got a few holidays coming up. I've got one in July and one in September, so that's like, I'd say 7 videos each. That's like 14, and I could do them like one a week, but because that would mean like the first holiday covers like nearly 2 months. But then again, I might not, because with holiday stuff I have a tendency to like do it one every 2 days. So, as I said, I haven't figured that out yet. There's one vlog which I've been umming and ahhing about doing, which is a jewellery vlog, because I've got tons of jewellery, and I thought, well, it might be interesting to sort of, like, to show you guys, because I never wear any, to like show you guys what I've got, like where I got it from, just have a general chat and stuff like that. And then this video that I'm putting up now, well, this gave me a whole new idea altogether, because like, it's obviously not finished because I only filmed for half an hour. on this and then sped it up to ×3 because I thought there's no way I can chat for half an hour. So I could do more of these in the future, but I sort of need your ideas. Ready? In 2 seconds, gonna dump my arm in the paint on the right hand side. Plonk! There we go. And I haven't even realised it. So I sort of need your feedback. What do you guys want to see? Like, I can't really do much going out and about at the moment because it's cold, but I can try. As soon as it gets warmer, you can bet I'm going out like all the weeks. I've realised I've got paint on my arm. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and the fact that like this is my 3rd year. This is something I've actually stuck at and done, well, quote unquote, well at. And so I'm happy that you guys are watching it. I'm happy for doing it. It's just sort of, on the one hand I'm like, because I've got to think about things to do. And on the other hand I'm just like, well, don't worry about it. Enjoy yourself. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because we're coming towards the end of the video. And I actually did it and managed to chat for like 11 minutes. Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and have a nice day.